close of the day. We are here.
Yep.
Unlike LeBron. Too soon?
I mean, probably.
Okay.
Plus,
fair enough.
Maybe we should give him a pass on this one.
Don't like it.
Just in case he suffers from frigatrice acophobia.
What is that?
The fear of Friday the 13th.
Is that actually a thing?
It's a real thing. 20 million people suffer from it in the U.S.
well.
Let's take it to many. The Lakers, minus LeBron,
Thank you.
taking on Ant-Man and the T-Wolves. But they do have AD. I mean, that's a future Hall of Famer right there. First quarter, Rudy Gobert with a rebound, put back. And on the inbounds, Jaden McDaniels with the steal. Lakers had 11 turnovers in the quarter. Their most in any quarter this season. T-Wolves were up 6. That's not a good start for JJ Redick's squad. Still in the first quarter, Ant-Man. How about that? Draws it right at AD. Little pump fake and goes Kareem with the sky hook. I see you. They were up 9 after the first. We jump ahead to the second half, third quarter. Ant-Man. Clock shot expires, didn't matter. He knocks that down. The lead is 5. They push it to 10. And then Ant-Man, ladies and gentlemen, please would you bring your attention to me? The lead is 12, and he wasn't done. Step back, bucket. It's a 15-point advantage. Edwards, still looking at the defense like, who gonna check me, boo? Follows his own miss. 77-66 going to the fourth. In the final frame, more of the same. Oh, Edwards gets blocked there by AD. Trying to do something on the defensive end to spark a little run here for the Lakers, and then can't do that, but Anthony Davis can. The Lakers cut it to 6. At the other end, where do you go? You go to 5. He had 23 points, 6 boards. T-Wolves push it back to 8. Anthony Davis for 3. He had 23, 11, and 3, but the Lakers are still down 5. Next possession, Mike Conley, no. You get the rebound, and then you lose it. Julius Randle to McDaniels. Season high 22 turnovers for the Lakers. McDaniels had 18, 9, and 5, and the T-Wolves win it by 10, 97-87.
22 turnovers. Can't expect to win a game like that. Did a terrible job of taking care of the basketball. 22 plays that we didn't get a shot on goal. We had 11 in the first quarter, and was able to combat that and give ourselves a chance to win. Cutting it to 6 and 5, but overall, it's tough to win any basketball game when you have 22 turnovers.
From hosting NBA Today in the afternoon to joining us on the Late Night Sports Center, the game just rewinds for Shanae Ogwumike. Let me ask you this, Shanae. With this roster and how many restrictions they had, we knew that LeBron was going to have to play at a high level for them to compete for a good seed in the West and obviously try to make a deep run in the playoffs. But he's out. He's having some issues. What can the Lakers do to turn this thing around in the interim?
Woo, Eves. Do you know that song by Janelle Monáe? Like, to the tightrope. It's like called Tightrope or something like that. The Los Angeles Lakers, they literally have to walk a tightrope to win games. And that is with LeBron and his 23 points per game and his 8 assists. The Lakers, we can see it every night, and I can see the gray hairs forming on JJ Redick's head. They're squeezing as much juice as they can out of the equation, but it never really fills the cup all the way up. The defense is getting incrementally better. That's what he said post-game. But they're still 26th overall in defense. And offensively, AD has to be at an MVP level. LeBron has to drop triple-doubles. The reserves, the supporting cast has to be in double figures. And their defense has to be at least top 15 in the league for them to win games. So, yeah, the tightrope is getting more and more narrow. Unless the Lakers make a big move, it will be more of the same.
And the question is, where can they get that move made and with whom? That is the question. Sit tight, though, because Briscoe has another game to talk about and a player to drop in your lap as well.
That would be Ja Morant. Ja Morant and the Grizzlies hosting the Nets. Now, Morant missed Sunday's game, back injury. I love how he likes to tell us that he is fine really early. Grizzlies up 3. Watch Ja forces the steal. Jalen Wells picks it up. Wells, Morant. Morant does that.
I mean, that's a dunk.
He said he was going to quit dunking.
I mean, for him, that is not really dunking.
But still, fine. Grizzlies up 6. Now in the second quarter, it's up 4. Morant dribbles between not 1 but 2. Grizzlies up 6, and then Ja. Watch this one. The spin. and then knocking it down. Grizzlies up 8. Next possession, wait for it, it's Ja. Grizzlies up 10. He looks just fine. I'm not an expert on injuries. No, wait, yeah, I am.
Yeah, you
Grizzlies up 13. Nets miss. Ja. Quickly. Not 2 defenders this time. Count them 3.
If you do that, you don't have to dunk. It's still exciting.
Grizzlies up 15. What I'm trying to tell you is that this was not a problem for Ja. Grizzlies now up 11. 10 seconds left in the first half. It's Ja again. Ball up the court. Stops. Steps back. Jumper to beat the buzzer. 18 points, 5 assists in the first half. Morant then walks up the court and starts yelling, yeah, towards the Nets head coach. That's Jordi Fernandez. Fernandez is like, I don't like this at all. I'm sure there may have also been some other choice words. Grizzlies up 14. Midway through the third, Grizzlies only up 6, but make it 9 because Ja he doesn't need to dunk it. He can shoot from out there as well. Now he's like strumming a guitar. He is just full of the you-know-what.
He's on Bill Street.
First player in Grizzlies history with 20 games of 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 10 assists. And now we're just going to chirp at the Nets bench. Grizzlies win 135-119. Janae is back with us. And look, anyone with eyes can tell you that the Grizzlies are better when they have Ja Morant around. But why are they that much better when he is on the floor for them?
It's because he is the engine, probably one of the greatest engines in the NBA. I mean, this team goes as Ja Morant goes. When Ja is on the floor and he's running, you never know what you're going to get. It could be a dunk, it could be a dime. And guess what? That holds his team accountable to go hard on every possession. He had 28 and 10 efficiently, but the part that his opponents, that he really hurt them on, was 3 for 6 from 3 tonight. But it's not just him. His starting 5 for the Grizzlies had 95 points, all in double figures, so they're spreading the wealth. But most importantly, they're number 2 in pace. They've won the last 5 out of 6. And you remember when Ja said, I'm fine in the West over 2 years ago? Well, look at them now. He is back, and so are they, and they're back to number 2 in the standings.
I also remember when Ja said he wasn't going to dunk anymore.
Yeah, what about that?
Yeah, what about that? All right, Janae, thank you very much. We do have some breaking news, though. Sixers, Pacers, and ouch, because Joel Embiid took an elbow. Is that a forearm off the nose? Well, fighting for a rebound, it happened right before halftime, and then that was it for Embiid. The team reported it is a sinus fracture. He will be evaluated further this weekend. Not picking on the guy, that was only his 6th game of the season. He's missed time this year with knee swelling. There was also the suspension. But let's be honest, this is also a guy who's played in just north of 55% of the Sixers regular season games and playoff games since he was drafted in 2014. Embiid has actually missed 393 of the 891 total games in which he could have played.
There were 4. The semifinals of the NBA Cup set to tip off Saturday. And despite that slow start and controversial foul call Wednesday, the Rockets snuck out of the quarterfinal round with a 91-90 win over the Warriors. Houston held Golden State scoreless over the final 3 minutes, going on a 7-0 run to end the game. The Rockets will take on number 1 seed out west and the favorites to win the Cup, OKC. 3 of the Thunder's 4 wins in tournament play have come by double digits, including a 14-point win over the Mavs in the quarters. After failing to make it out of group play last season, the Hawks will face Milwaukee in the other semi. Trae Young leads Atlanta, averaging more than 21 points and 11 dimes in tournament play. As for the Bucks, they remain the only undefeated team in NBA Cup play this season, 4-0 in East Group B, and then taking down the Magic in the quarters, led by Giannis, who dropped 37 in the win. More now from James Collier.
The Milwaukee Bucks are back in Vegas for a second straight season, an unlikely feat after a disastrous start. But what gave Damian Lillard confidence that they would make it back to this point? His conversations with Giannis. Lillard said at Media Day on Friday that Giannis was never discouraged, which let him know that both he and his co-star were still on the same page.
Nobody likes losing. Everybody plays to win, I believe. I think we definitely had as a team a little bit more urgency. We had to fix some things. We had to play more team basketball. We had to compete in a higher level.
Obviously for us, we had a tough start to the season, so we've gotten ourselves, going in the right direction. We've been able to win a lot of games lately. This is just another opportunity for us to continue that, obviously, but with more on the line and with us to, get even more momentum from, an experience like this.
The Bucks are trying to avoid a short trip like last season when they lost in the semifinals to the Indiana Pacers, which is why Giannis said the team has unfinished business this time around. Or as Coach Doc Rivers said, you put a tournament in front of us, we're going to try to win it. In Las Vegas, Jamal Collier, ESPN.
All right, Sinead back with us. And look, Sinead, I'm not trying to put words in the Bucks' mouth, but I get the sense that they're not looking at the Hawks. They're looking past them because they're trying to avenge what happened last year. But with that said, what about this matchup that could be so intriguing and maybe potentially trip them up in that regard?
You know it's all about the Bucks in Vegas. I'm talking quite literally. I'm looking forward to see if Giannis can deliver on the big bucks, the $500,000 that is available for those who win the NBA Cup championship. And by the way, y'all, he has been on a roll, leading the league in scoring at 32 points per game, 11 rebounds, over 60% from the field, and most importantly, 6 assists. But the big question is, can the Hawks keep him out of the paint? He averages 21.7 paint points per game, leads the NBA in that category. But the real reason why the Bucks have turned the corner is because of the assists. I mentioned Giannis' 6. Dame has upped his assist numbers. And on top of that, Dame is still going Dame time. I should be doing this. So the Milwaukee Bucks, they mean business, and that might actually pay off.
All right, let's go over to the West because, look, it's no surprise to see the Thunder there. They were good last year. They're good this year. They should be there. But the Rockets are one of the biggest surprises in the league, being the number 2 seed in the West right now. So we get 1 versus 2 in this matchup. How does Houston get this done considering who they're playing?
Eves, you know where I'm from, right?
I do know.
I'm from the H, right? My Rockets, they have full liftoff, but they will have their hands full with the OKC Thunder, the number 1 team in the West. And this is going to be a defensive battle. It's a matchup of the top 2 defenses in the NBA. These are teams that grind out their wins with deflections, with steals, with blocks. So basically, there will be a premium on points in this matchup potentially. So the stars will have to show up and show out. SGA needs real MVP consideration. He's kept the Thunder afloat with Chet Holmgren out, and he's averaging 30. And last game, I believe, he was 5 for 9 from 3 on top of that, which is a huge dagger. And on the other end, Alperen Şengün, we're having another breakout season from him. He had 2 triple-doubles in their 5 cup games. So those 2 stars will need to bring the offense while we know their squads will fully bring the defense.
Rockets are the number 2 seed in the West, and they got 1 All-Star appearance on their entire roster. That was Fred VanVleet. They have been a surprise of the year for sure. Sinead, she's never surprised. She always brings it, even here on SportsCenter.